never be able to be as great as she was. But I'm gonna make a conscious effort to try, you know? That's why she's my hero. So I'm doing all of these things for her. And after I've completed it, or after I've done it, or after I've worked relentlessly for it, I'm still empty-handed at the end of it. I think there is no strength without love. And I think if you have love, deep, powerful, and never-ending love, you'll be stronger than you ever thought was possible. If I'm at home and I go to my daughter's resting place every day, some days I'll sit down there, some days I'll just drive through and wind the window down and say hi. Some people that don't know or probably haven't experienced it will tell me that, you know, oh, you need to move on from that. I don't run away from something, I don't hide from something. I face everything head on. And that way I can deal with it better, I can cope with it better, and I can use it to fuel me to achieve the things that I want to do, no matter how difficult they are. Whether I wake up and see a picture of her, whether I'm scrolling on my phone and I see a post, whether somebody in the street talks about her, the first thing I have to deal with is the fact that she's not here with me no more. And no matter how many years I live on this earth, I'm never going to see her again until I make it through the gates. That's the first thing that I think of. That's why every day is difficult. That's why every conversation is difficult. That's why every time I step into a hospital or I go on one of these challenges, it's difficult because I'm doing all of these things for her. And after I've completed it, or after I've done it, or after I've worked relentlessly for it, I'm still empty-handed at the end of it. So that's what I think in the first place. But I also think about her beautiful smile. I think about waking up next to her every single morning and opening the blinds and playing the music and dancing with her for hours. I think about how strong she was during such a tough battle. I think about how brave she was every time she had to face another procedure or surgery. And I think about no matter what she went through, she made everyone around her so happy. And I guess the reason why I'm trying to be better is because I'm trying to be a little bit like her. You know what I mean? Because I'll never be able to be as great as she was. But I'm going to make a conscious effort to try. You know, that's why she's my hero. So that's all the things I think about. My beard is important for me because, you know, when I was in hospital with my daughter, it was during COVID, global pandemic. So being in a pandemic and having a child that's fighting cancer and going through transplant, you're not allowed interaction with anybody really outside that room. So I couldn't see friends, I couldn't see family, definitely couldn't go to the shops, you know, or the barber shops or stuff like that. So I naturally started, you know, growing this beard, and it was getting bigger and it was getting bigger and it was getting bigger, and Azaylia was getting older, so she was getting more active, started to use her hands and her feet. And the older Azaylia got and the bigger my beard got, when I used to go in to kiss her, she used to grab my beard and pull me in. She used to literally latch onto it, and then she used to rub her toes, put her feet up, rub her toes through it. And she just used to love my beard. And I felt like it was a way for her to hold on to me. So when I lost her, I wanted to keep it and I didn't want to trim it, or I didn't want to make it look pretty. I just wanted to keep it how it was because she's touched the very hairs that are still on my face. And I believe that, you know, within my beard lies so much of my strength and so much of my amazing memories of my daughter. And that's why I've got no intentions of shaving it off, no matter how big it gets. I'll just have to find another style for it, maybe a plait or something when it gets out of control. But yeah, a lot of people say, cut that beard off now, mate. You don't need that. And I think, you know, you don't understand. And my goal in life isn't to be attractive to you. It's about, you know, staying true to who I am and what I believe and my reasons why. So yeah, it's something that I can't imagine ever cutting. And I quite like it. I think it looks good. I think I see it. Yeah. She loved it. That's the main thing. That's good enough for me. I think that strength is a great thing to behold, because not only then are you strong for yourself, but you can be strong for other people that you love and care about that are around you. I think the biggest underlying part of strength for me is love. I think there is no strength without love. And I think if you have love, deep, powerful, and never-ending love, you'll be stronger than you ever thought was possible. Sometimes it ain't all about how you feel, because sometimes behind that and the underlying strength becomes about, making someone else feel great, making someone else feel comfortable, helping someone else out that day. And then you manage to have a weird way of getting over your sadness, and it finds ways to seep out in different ways. We're all living our lives for the last few seconds, aren't we? It's just what we choose to do with it that counts.